ثانيا غفر الله لكم. على محبة الحسين الثالثة بأعلى أصواتكم. من الفقرات المستحدثة برنامج الحسينية متى ما سنح لنا الوقت فقرة المايك المفتوح. يتفضل دكتور عباس، عنده بعض الأفكار يحب يشاركنا بها. استقبلوا بالصلاة على محمد وآل محمد.
اوكي. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. فالموضوع تقريبا هو علمي، فعجبني وحبيت أن يعني أطرحها اليوم وبالطريقة اللي انطرحت. يعني هو مطروح طبعا بالسابق، بس اكو تفنيد إلى إسلامي. عندنا سيد اسمه هذا المدرسي دائما يطلع بالتلفزيون على قناة أهل البيت، فقبل فترة من الفترات طلع وحكى هو هذا الموضوع، وأنا حبيت أن أطرح نفس الموضوع بس بأسلوب آخر، نفس الفكرة مالته بس بأسلوب آخر حتى نفهم هذا الموضوع. هذا المدرسي سيد هذا المدرسي ذكر أنه علميا معروف أن هناك نظريات هواية أو كثيرة، خلينا نقول بالمعنى العام، عن شلون نشأ هذا الكون وشلون نشأت الحياة على الكرة الأرضية وشلون صار تطور لهاي الحياة. وواحدة من هاي النظريات طبعا نظريات معقدة تقول أنه الحياة نشأت بالمي أول مرة، وبعدين طورت هاي الحياة، خلينا نقول صارت أسماك وضفادع، وبالتالي طورت هاي الحياة. أول شيء هي نشأت بالصدفة، ومن تطورت هاي طلعت من المي من البحار إلى اليابسة أول مرة، وبعدين أيضا صار تطور لهاي الحيوانات من اليابسة، وصار قسم منها احتاجت إلى أجنحة وقامت تطير وهكذا. إذن هو بداية النشأة كانت في المي، وبعدين في اليابسة، وبعدين صارت بالفضاء. الدليل لهم على هذا شنو هو الدليل مالهم؟ انه الحياة خلينا نقول الحيوانات الموجودة البحرية والموجودة بالبحرية بالبحر واللي بالبر والطيور كلها متكونة من نفس المواد. شنو نفس المواد؟ يعني يعني أكسجين، يستنشقون أكسجين خلينا نقول، وعندهم داخل أجسامهم كالسيوم وحديد وغير خلينا نقول غيرها من المكونات الأساسية. إذن هي صارت بالصدفة، خلينا نقول صارت صدفة أول مرة، وبالأخير صارت نشأة للحياة، وبعدين صار تطور لهاي الحياة. والدليل أنه المكونات نفسها لهاي الحيوانات الموجودة. فهذا المدرسي إيش قال؟ طبعا هو الموضوع حلو والفكرة كلش حلوة ومضحكة، يعني راح تونسون عليها. راح أعطيكم الفكرة مال هذا المدرسي بس هنا علينا بكندا حتى نفهمها. نفرض مثلا احنا كليتنا طلعنا البارحة، طلعنا نتمشى خلينا نقول هنا بهاملتون، فمن طلعنا نتمشى تونسنا وطلعنا بالسيارات وعوائلنا ورجعنا بالليل. فخلينا نقول مثلا واحد من عندنا خلينا نقول ابو عباس اتصل بينا وقال يا احنا البارحة تونسنا، خلينا نروح هسه نفس المكان. رحنا نفس المكان واذا نشوفه كله متغير. البارحة ما كانت بحيرة واليوم اكو بحيرة اسمها اونتاريو ليك اللي هو بحيرة اونتاريو. البارحة كانت ما موجودة، صدفة صارت بحيرة. هاي اول شغلة، انه الصدفة هم يقولون الكون كله صار صدفة. فاحنا ماتين البارحة كانت ماكو بحيرة واليوم رحنا الصبح لقينا بحيرة اسمها اونتاريو بالصدفة. هاي الكلام من عندي الآن، يعني دا اشرح الفكرة مال هذا المدرس يعني علينا دا طبقها علينا. صدفة دا يلعبون الأطفال واحنا دا متونسين وقاعدين دا نباوع على البحيرة، وإذا فد مركبة فضائية تنزل من السماء. باوعنا المركبة الفضائية قلنا خلي نختل، خاف ياخذونا ذولا من الفضاء الخارجي إيليانز، خلي كليتنا نختل. طلعنا وختنا وجوي ودا نسمع احنا الكلام مالهم، مع ذولا اللي جايين من الفضاء. الآن دا يتكلمون هم، دا يقول له خلينا نشوف الحياة اللي موجودة على الكرة الأرضية. هم ما يدرون شنو حياة، دا نشوف الحياة الموجودة على الكرة الأرضية. واحد منهم باوع للبحيرة وشاف بايسكلات بالبحيرة، بايسكلات مذبوبة ما حد يدري بيهن، بايسكل أو 3 شروخ مال أطفال، بايسكل شرخين زين. فلاح قال له هاي هنا اكو كائنات موجوده، شوف هاي بايسكلات، اكو فد كائنات، هذا دول رواد الفضاء دا يحجون بيناتهم، احنا دا نسمع. فذني هذا فد شيء اسمه بايسكل، عنده جهاز سوى حلل المكونات مال البايسكلات، لقوها حديد والمنيوم ونحاس واطارات وبلاستيك وتايرات يعني مطاط. فلاح قال له باوع، قال اكو سياره من هناك تمشي. فقال اي والله هاي هم اكو كائن حي هذا جديد ما يعرفون هم من الفضاء. فاماتين بالجهاز ماله حلل المكونات مال السياره وهي تمشي، قال له هذا اماتين حديد والمنيوم ونحاس وموجود تايرات، بس هاي بيها 4 رجلين 4 تايرات، هذاك بيه رجلين 2 البايسكل. اذا اكيد اتطور البايسكل، كان عايش بالبحيرة وبعدين صار تطور إله وصار في ظروف معينة بحيث تطور وقام يمشي على الأرض ب4 رجلين وصار سيارة. فالله قال له أكفت شي دا يفوت من يمنه باوح هيجي وذا هي طائرة. هماتين طلع الجهاز ماله ووجهها على الطائرة وشاف هماتين ألمنيوم ومغنيسيوم وتايرات ومطاط وبلاستيك. فقال له هاي نفس الشيء، بس ليش تطير وهاي دا تمشي وذيك بالمي؟ قال له اذا اكيد الحياة على الكرة الارضية بدأت بالبايسكل وتطورت صارت سيارة وبالاخير اصل الطائرة هو بايسكل. فمثل ما النظرية العلمية تقول الكائنات الحية بدأت بالبحر وبعدين تطورت صارت بالمي على اليابسة والآن صارت بالطائرات يعني طيران طيور قصدي. هنا النظرية الأخرى المقابلة لها الحياة لا كانت بايسكل وصارت سيارة وتطورت وصارت طائرة. أفلح من صلى على محمد وآل محمد.
أفلح من صلى على محمد وآل محمد. بال2007 أول ما أجينا استلمنا الحسينية كانت مجموعة من الشباب يترددون على الحسينية. تالي جانا سيد محمد، سيد ضرغام، من ضمن الشباب اللي كانوا بالبداية بالحسينية علي الكاظمي. فكانوا هذول ال3 ال4 الأكثر شيء، علي صبري اجى نشطين، سيد محمد، سيد ضرغام، علي صبري، علي الكاظمي. بواسطة سماحة الشيخ الأنصاري وإتقانا للغة الفارسية كان يجينا أهل عائلة الأخ سجاد. سجاد at that time you were in grade 9 2000 yeah grade 9 همنا كان موجود. فسجاد حكى ويا الشيخ الأنصاري قال له نريد لنا فد شيخ يحكي لنا باللغة الإنجليزية، لأن احنا محتاجين واحد يوصل لنا علوم آل البيت بطريقة باللغة الإنجليزية. فالشيخ بلغني قال لي بلكي شوف لهم واحد يحكي بالإنجليزي. بذاك الوقت سألت ما كان اكو أحد. تالي اجت الفكرة قلت له سجاد ليش ما أنت تحكي؟ ما دام عندك اهتمام بالأمور الدينية فأنت ابدي. فاستحسن الفكرة هو وشجع، وبدينا ويا 4 بالضبط 4 سجاد وسيد محمد وسيد ضرغام وعلي الكاظمي وعلي صبري. هذول ال4 بلشنا بيهم. أول شيء سوينا لهم محاضرات، هو كان يهيئ المحاضرات يشوفها مثلا على الانترنت مواضيع معينة مختلفة. فبدينا بهاي التجربة بال2007 تقريبا، إلى أن اتصلنا بباقي المراكز، بالمركز الأفغاني، اللبناني، الباكستاني، جماعة الخوجة، فاللي جاوبوا ويانا المركز الافغاني. فاجانا فد يوم واحد عن طريق الصدفه، هم ولد افغاني، هم كان بنفس العمر مال سجاد، وتطورت الفكره وظلينا نسوي برامج مشتركه احنا والافغان. الدور انتقلنا، ساهمنا في جمع تبرعات للحسينيه، لمركز الخوجه، ظلينا نسوي برامج مشتركه، نطلع مخيمات، الى ان وصل عددنا تقريبا 29 شاب. بدينا من هذول الثلاث نفرات 4. فكانت حركتهم حقيقه ملفته لجميع المراكز. وصل الأمر إلى أن نسوي مناسبات موحدة، ولادة الإمام الحجة، أنه كل المراكز أجرنا قاعة كلها باسمهم وتبرعاتهم وشغلهم هم، أجروا قاعة، دعينا كل المراكز إلها ولادة الإمام الحجة، وسويناها 2 سنين متكررة. لكن المشكلة هو هذا النشء لما يكبر وأنه بيدخل للجامعة أو شيء، من الصعب تلقي ناس يبدلونه، يحتاج إلى تبديل. Brother Sajjad, I'm talking in Arabic about our experience when you first time came to our center. Sajjad, he has an idea to open homework club. سوينا نادي مال الواجبات البيتية المدرسية، ينفتح يومين بالأسبوع تقريبا 4 ساعات. مش هذا الفترة معينة بس، يعني قلنا مسألة المتطوعين ومتابعة هاي البرامج من الصعب لما ماكو مثلا 3 4 واحد يركضون وياك، تشوف هاي الأمور تمشي وبعدين توقف. سجاد من المتفوقين كان بالمدرسة، دخل على جامعة مكماستر بالميديكال سكول وخلص دراسة، وهسه ما شاء الله يعني بمرحلة التطبيق. Brother Sajjad, we are welcome you here again. Please come talk to us about our experience. Thank you. استقبلوا بالصلاة على محمد وآل محمد.
All right, Assalamu alaikum everyone. I'm not used to the mic. Usually when we used to gather at the mosque, it was, just a circle of friends and no need for the mic. So anyways, so it's great to be here, especially tonight after I think quite a bit of time now. When I was in high school and when I was at Mac, I used to come here very often. And it was always so refreshing coming here. And I remember we would go down on Main and there was no cars. And then you would get to the Hosseiniya and all of a sudden you see all these cars parked. And it always felt so great to be part of a bigger community. So Alhamdulillah, it's great to be back again here. So I guess tonight we're talking about more about like planning and goals and stuff. And I'm sure you've heard this maybe all over from different people. But here's an opportunity for me maybe to have a chat with you guys and maybe we could talk about some of that stuff. I'm not sure what the crowd is like. I guess this is more tailored towards the younger people. So maybe we could start off by getting to know what people are doing and maybe what grade you guys are from. So we could start off with grade 6 maybe. I came here when I was in grade 6. I came to Canada when I was in grade 6. So anybody in grade 6 here? 7? 8? 9? Okay. Grade 9? Okay. Yeah, sure. Okay. So we're going to get back to it, I guess. So we went up to grade 9, and then what about grade 10? 11? 12? Okay, so a few 12. Great. Anybody in university, college? Okay, good. All right, more. So who's married? Let's go to the next step. Okay, great. All right. Very good. Okay, great.
Nobody.
Nobody. All right, great. So we have a full house from, I guess, all walks of life. So I guess we were going to just talk about planning and goals, which is most of you already know. They're really crucial and they're really important. And I could maybe start off by just getting people's thoughts on what plans and goals mean. Does anybody have an idea of what a plan possibly means or what a goal means? What's the definition of a plan? Very simple question. Something you try to achieve, exactly, great. And so this entire existence is based on planning and goals. And even if you refer back to like Islamic texts, for example, the Holy Quran talks about planning. And we have a surah in Ayat al-Qamar that says, you know, everything that you see in this planet, we've planned to proportions, to even the smallest of proportions. So as you could see, this whole universe runs on plans. And as human beings, we also set plans. And the beauty of plans is it allows you to maximize your potential. So, you know, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us a lot of potential, but in order to utilize that potential, we need a plan and a goal. The beauty of a plan and a goal, as I was saying earlier, is a few things. Number one is that it gives you a lot of control. So for example, if you wake up and you have a plan for your day, you feel like you have control over your life. The opposite of that is when you wake up and you don't have a plan. You know, that happens to most of students in the summertime. You know, the summertime comes and we don't have to go to school, we don't have to go to class, we don't have a plan, and we feel like the summertime goes by so quick. But in the school year, everything seems to be super slow. It's because we have a plan. You know, every day we go off of a plan. And so planning, as I was mentioning earlier, gives you a lot of control over your life. You get to choose what you want to do. You don't wake up and let the hour just go by, right? And that's a beautiful thing about it. The other beautiful thing about planning is the fact that at the end of the day, when you go to bed, you could check it off and say, you know, I finished task 1, task 2, task 3. Maybe I didn't finish task 4, and I could leave that for the next day. So again, it gives you that sense of accomplishment, the sense that, you know, you're living every day for a purpose. And this is something that our Prophet and our Imams used to do. They would have a plan for the morning, for the noon, for the afternoon, and for the nighttime. And that's how they were able to live a prosperous life. Now, this is not just an Islamic thing that we say, right? This is even in the texts in the Western world. For example, you have Maslow, who is very well regarded in the field of psychology, who talks about planning, who talks about having goals. And he says, you know, a lot of younger folks around the age of, you know, maybe 16, 17, 18, they have a mix of plans. So you have a bunch of people who are struggling, for example, in high schools. You know, they're trying to belong, they're trying to be popular, they're trying to be loved, and that's completely normal, right? But what's after that? After that comes STEAM, he says. So STEAM is about the social regard you get. For example, you know, you have somebody who's a mechanic, you know, you have somebody who's a doctor, you have somebody who is an engineer, and you have people of all sorts. And they get their STEAM from what they do for society. And that's a required technique, a required method of living. It's something that we get a lot of pleasure out of. And so it's crucial when you come down, you know, to grades 9, 10, 11, and 12, that you come up with a plan for yourself. Because you have to remember that after wanting to be popular, which is normal in high school, after wanting to, you know, have that gang of friends that you have and you go out and you have time, you have fun, after that, there comes STEAM, right? That's a normal thing that we all go through. We have to start thinking about, you know, what do I want to be? What do I want to provide to the society? And unfortunately, what happens sometimes, we get so bogged down on becoming popular or, you know, having a group of friends or just enjoying our time that we forget about the next step, you know? It's just like when you're a kid and you think about having toys, you know? All you want is a toy. That's all you care about. And and that thing keeps on going. Every time at every part in your life, you become obsessed or thoughtful about one part. And so at this stage, I think that's where you get a lot of gain, where you're not the average high school kid. You know, when you think ahead of a time and you say, okay, I know what's coming next. I know next it's about my social involvement. I know next is about what I choose to do for a living. I know next comes, for example, me caring about my family, having kids and all that stuff. And if you get ahead of that and you start planning about it when you're in grade 10, 11, or 12, then you're ahead of the game, because everybody else is busy just thinking about the now, here and now. Nobody else is thinking about the future. So I think this is where you start to see the difference between, as Brother Amin used to say, a star and an average person. If you're in grade 10 and you're already thinking about your future, that means you're ahead of the game, right? But thinking about that, you also need to come up with a plan and a goal. And I think that's what sets a difference between a lot of people. My story was when I was in grade 10, I had no plans. I would just wake up, just go day by day, whatever comes I would do. If a friend calls me, I would go out. If there was no phone call, I would stay home. Nothing very special. Until my uncle passed away. My uncle was only 35 and he passed away because of leukemia. And that's where it hit me, that I didn't want to just live every day with no purpose, with no goal. When that happened, I felt like I needed to do something. I needed to take control of my life. I can't let every day go past by. And some of us, go through those hardships and find a purpose. Other ones will read a textbook or listen to an inspiring speaker. But every one of us will get to a point in life where they recognize that they want to do something, that they want to be part of a bigger picture. And the earlier you sit down and you recognize that, the better it is for you. And so for me, it was grade 10. I'm very upset about the death of my uncle. I still, whenever I think about it, I start crying. But for me, it was a big change that I realized that I wanted to do more. And that's where, Brother Amin already told you guys a story of, wanting to be part of the community. And then when it comes down to academics, I wanted to help people. And the best way I thought that I could do it is through med school. So that's how I got engaged. But then there is so many other things that people could do. You could become a very good engineer. And in medical school, we depend on engineers every day. The electricity goes off, there's nothing we could do. And that goes to say that, as soon as you find your passion and your calling, work towards it, and you, inshallah, will achieve it. But the important thing is that you take that control, that planning. You wake up and you have a plan, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And maybe not all of it will happen, but at least you get to D. Right? And that's in itself a good thing, and you keep persistent, and eventually you feel that you have that control in your life. Things don't just hit you from nowhere. You decide what's important and what's not important. And alhamdulillah, you have a great community who could provide you guidance. You have a great textbook called the Quran that gives you guidance. And so you have great scholars like the sheikhs in the mosque and everywhere else that you have access to. And so based on that, you get to choose what's important and what's not important, right? You get to choose that, if my friend calls me at, say 8 o'clock, and my schedule, it says that I have to go and see my grandpa, or I have to sit down with my parents and have a meal because that's important in Islam, that's important to my family, then I'm not going to go out with, say, Alex or John or Mortaza or whoever it might be. So that's the whole thing. I think the whole idea is to have that control over your life and feel like you own it. It's something that it's yours. You only get one chance at it. And the earlier you decide to take control over that life, the more enjoyable it would be. That's all I had to say. I mean, feel free to talk to me afterwards. I'm not sure how many of you know what you want to do, like out of the younger ones here? Does anybody have a plan, like the guys in grade 11, 12? Have you decided?
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I decided to make a plan starting from grade 11, but I still have struggling points. I'm just trying to skip it, but always I get the struggling points. But of course that will not affect my target. Is that to get go to medical universities, and this is my plan.
That's great.
Yeah.
So struggles will always be there, right? And it's just keeping that persistence and working it through and believing in your goal, right? I mean, it's not easy, as you've already mentioned. You will come through struggles, but that belief system that I think our community could give us marks a difference. The more you believe in your goal, the more you believe in your dream, the more likely you are to fight for it. And I think that's where the whole concept of Islam and faith come into place, right? That you see all the struggles. The difference between you, Muhammad, and somebody else in your class who has no faith is that you have something behind you that is super solid. It's something that has existed for thousands of years, right? That will give you that force. And keeping that connection between yourself and your community and your faith, it's what's going to let you win this struggle, right? And provides you with an opportunity to move forward. But yeah, for sure, there's going to be challenges. But also, you have people in the community who are willing to help. You want to go into medicine, we have a lot of great Shia doctors in the community, right? Muslim doctors in the community who could provide guidance and help. A lot of good medical students. And also the text, right? When you read the Quran and it says when you save one life, it's as if you saved all of humanity. You read that and you'd be like, oh my God, like, you know, this is great. Like, this is what I want to do, right? Or like if you make, sorry? Yeah, it gives you a push, exactly. So keep that connection. I mean, the most important thing is first you have to realize the beautiful thing about planning, right? Once you get that down, realize the power it gives you, the control it gives you, then the rest of it becomes easy. But the only problem is, you know, not every day you're going to be able to reach your plan. Not every day you're going to be able to reach every goal. So you got to keep persistence. But set a time, you know, give it a try. I mean, you might want to wake up tomorrow is actually New Year's, right? So that could be your New Year's. Yeah, just one last thing that I wanted to say. I think, you know, the timing is perfect. Tomorrow is the start of the new year, 2017. I've been reading some news online. It seems like 2016 wasn't a great year for most people. It wasn't the best year for me. Inshallah, next year will be better. I'm not sure. Maybe you guys had a good year. But anyways, I feel like it's a great timing. 2017 comes and we start the plan. And it's simple. You know, we could start off by just having 3 goals for the day or 3 plans for the day and keep persistence. And also have long-term goals too. Like, you know, what I want to be. Research it. Ask people. And inshallah, you know, after some time of giving it a shot, if it works for you, great. If it doesn't work for you, still don't give up. Come talk to me or Brother Amin or somebody else and we'll convince you that it'll work.
Okay, Brother Sajjad, because you are in medical school and Muhammad, the grade 11, he has a plan to go to the medical school. What's your advice for him to reach that particular goal?
So
what needs to be done to achieve that goal?
To go into med school?
Yeah.
So the question is about Brother Muhammad, who's in grade 12 and wants to go into med school.
Yeah.
And so just very quickly, med school, you would have to do 4 years of undergraduate, 3 or 4 years depending on what you do. And so that could be anything. It could be science. Some schools actually accept you if you're from humanities or engineering or whatnot. But most recommended is a science degree. So you could, for example, if you're talking about McMaster, you could do life sciences or health sciences or kinesiology. So there's a bunch of programs that will prepare you for the content that you're going to have in med school. And so you do 4 years of that or 3 years of that, and then you would have to write the MCAT. So the MCAT is basically the medical college admission test. And the medical college admission test, it's about, when I wrote it, it was 5 hours. I think now it's 7 hours. So they've made it a little bit more difficult, a little bit more long, I should say, maybe not difficult. But and so you write that test, and you also have to have really good grades. That's really important. So in your undergrad. And also you have to do a lot of volunteering. So if you could volunteer at the mosque. So I volunteered at the mosque and Brother Amin wrote me a letter. So that's good, keep doing that. And also at hospitals, right? At community centers.
Even in the school.
Even in school, yeah, anything. Like, you know, I volunteered at the mosque and a lot of people were like, oh man, don't say it was a mosque. I'm like, nobody cares. And nobody did care. So it's great. And then also, so once you do that, you submit your application in your 3rd or 4th year. And you could apply anywhere you want in Ontario. I applied to UBC, which is in Vancouver, because I was tired of the cold. I just wanted something warmer. So I ended up going to Vancouver for med school. And then they ask you to come do an interview, right? Yeah. And I feel like in an interview, it's where you could express yourself really well, right? You could express that you're a man of faith, right? That you believe in honesty, right? You believe in hard work. And that you come from somewhere that you acknowledge the importance of opportunity and you feel privileged to be able to help people. Because that's in you, it's part of your upbringing. So that's where you could be a very different person from somebody else who doesn't have the same values, the Islamic values as you do. That's where you see the difference between people. And I still see the difference between people. Like, you know, every time I go to a mosque, if it's in Vancouver, if it's in Montreal, if it's in Calgary, as soon as I walk into a Shia mosque, like you could feel the vibe is very different, right? And those are qualities that people see in you. They might not know what a Shia is, right? But when they see you, they see that you have the qualities of Imam Ali, you have the qualities of the Prophet, of all the Imams. They see the difference between you and somebody else. So that's the interview part. I think most of the people will do great in interviews. And then after that, you know, it's just 4 years to get your MD degree. And then you specialize. Say you want to do brain, surgery, whatever.
My friend just told me, like...
If you want to use the mic, yeah.
My friend is in Brock University. He's studying medical science.
Yeah.
So he said, if you get a low average in the high school, let's say 80 to 85, you can go to Brock University, let's say for medical science. Then after studying the 4 years, and you get a high average in the whole 4 years, you can apply for the med school again?
Yeah, 100%. So med school is something you enter after you do an undergrad degree, right? So you still have to get your bachelor's degree, or at least 3 years. So it doesn't matter what your high school average is. Nobody looks at your high school average when you want to apply to med school. right? Because you don't apply to med school from high school. You apply to med school after you finish your undergrad degree, or 3 years of undergrad. And so they only look at your undergrad degree, they don't look at your high school marks. So for example, I did health sciences at McMaster, they only looked at my grade 12 average, right? And so they told me, okay, you could go to McMaster Health Sciences. So I did 4 years of that. And then when I want to go into med school only comes after, right? When I want to go to med school, they said, okay, what did you get in university? So med school only looks at your undergrad degree. So you're basically getting 2 degrees. Becoming a doctor is not 1 degree, it's 2 degrees in most cases. So you do 1 degree in undergraduate, and then you do 1 degree in medicine. So basically once you have the 2 degrees, then you become a doctor. Whereas back home, for example, in Iraq or in Iran, you just go from high school to med school. It's not like that here. Here it's separate, it's 2 steps. So yeah, just to be clear on that, your high school degree, your high school average does not matter when you apply to med school. Your university average matters.
And like in high school, how many hours did you study a day? Like.
So in high school, it was very different. I think in high school, some subject I would study for maybe 4 hours, but on average, I would say I was studying maybe 5 hours a day. So I would come home around like 3 o'clock, and then maybe like nap until 4 o'clock, and then I would study straight from 4 to 9. And then I remember from like 9 o'clock to 11, I would have dinner, sometimes go swim, or like, go play squash, or go out with my friends, or like just sit down with my family, and then I would sleep at 11 o'clock. And then I would wake up the next day at 6 o'clock, and same routine over. And then on the weekends, some weekends you have tests coming up, so you would study a little harder. Sometimes you have no tests, you go camping with your friends.
For the whole grades, or only for grade 12? You study
grade 11 and 12, I think I was studying 5 hours a day.
Wow.
Yeah.
That would be useful too.
I'm
studying the same hours, that's why I'm asking.
Yeah, and sometimes people struggle with English, so they would have to spend more time. I think in grade 11 and 12 I was studying 5 hours a day. But it was you get used to it. Initially it was hard. I would sit down, I would try to study, and I could only do like 2 hours, 3 hours. But I remember it was a struggle. It was like another goal, So you could only do 1 hour at first, then you try to push it up to 1 hour and 30 minutes. So just keep persistent, and inshallah. Yeah, and always ask help for God. Remember sometimes I wanted to study more, but I'm I just can't do it. And so you do your best, and you leave the rest, right? You leave the rest to God, and that's great.
I told them last week 5 hours, so my guess was right. We have a question from Abu Ali, his son in grade 9.
Yeah.
And he's into technology. What's your advice for him? If there is a club around, has interest in technology and electronics?
Yeah, so depending on what high school he goes to, I remember when I used to go to McNabb, and Waterloo used to do a lot of contests. And so they had a lot of people who were interested in mechatronics or technology, so people who built robots and whatnot. And so there was like a 2-day competition that we used to have, and you would go to University of Waterloo, which is very famous for engineering. Westdale, yeah. Okay, yeah, so Westdale is a really good school. Yeah, I used to take summer classes at Westdale. Okay, so we have quite a few people who go there. But yeah, so I think for technology, if he's engineering inclined, then it would be to join the math club, right? So they give a lot of credit to math, because math is the foundations, and also physics. And so there's these contests that he could look out for. And if he asks his math teacher, so if you ask him to go to his grade 12 math teacher and tell him, what contests are coming up this year, and then he could participate. And just being there, even if you don't get involved, just being there in that atmosphere and seeing people in itself is great. I remember I didn't really like math, but I would still go. And just going there, it gives you a lot of new ideas that you could work off of. So yeah, I would suggest that he talks to his grade 12 teacher. I know he's in grade 9, but go find a grade 12 teacher and tell him that, I'm really interested in technology, and are there any contests? And I know that Waterloo does one for sure. So that's a really good question. I think, so there's different ways of looking at it. My brother, he's also in health sciences and he wants to do medicine. He's in 2nd year now. And what I told him, based on my research, was to do number 1, health sciences at McMaster. That would be my primary choice. And then my second choice would be health sciences and kinesiology it's one program. It's called Health Sciences Kinesiology, at University at York, which is in Toronto. Those two, from what I saw before, they used to have the highest entrance into med schools. So for example, life sciences at McMaster would have, this is just a made up number, it's not an accurate number, like say 3 people in med school, but health sci would have 10 people in med school. And then York would have 7 people in med school. So if you look at the numbers and how many people have actually made it into med school, it kind of tells you, what programs are more likely to give you a chance in order to go to med school. And I think still up to this date, it's the Faculty of Health Sciences at McMaster University, which is local in Hamilton. So if you could get into that program, for sure. If not, I would personally suggest to go Health and Kinesiology at York. And that's just based off the number of people who get into med school. I don't know the program.
Okay.
Yeah.
Another question. So back to high school. Let's say you struggle in, let's say, math. Did you participate in any homework club?
That's a really good question. So what I used to do personally was I would, like almost every day, I would stay after class and talk to my teacher. Like the teachers are supposed to stay after class and help students. That's part of their mandate. And maybe they can't stay for too long, but if you show interest, they'll definitely stay. So I would go every day and I would spend maybe 30 minutes, 45 minutes, sometimes an hour, and asking every single question that I didn't know or I didn't understand. And so it's basically you're getting free tutoring from the person who writes your test, right?
Yeah.
So that I found that very useful. And if your teacher isn't super nice, find another math teacher. There's at least 3-4 math teachers in every school. And so they could help you. And also one other thing that I found very helpful, super helpful, was Khan Academy. I'm not sure if you've heard of it. But Khan Academy, it's Khan Academy. And they have they basically teach you everything. Math, science, physics, biology, everything. And it's a video. Every video is about 10 minutes. They go over the important concepts and they solve problems, for example, for math. So honestly, I think I learned all of my grade 12 physics from Khan Academy. I wasn't a big fan of my teacher. I would still go to class, but I couldn't learn a lot. So I would come home and I would watch these videos for 2-3 hours. And they helped a lot. So I'll give the name to Brother Amin if anybody wants to use it after, but it's Khan Academy. And I still use it now in med school. Believe it or not, I still use it. So definitely use Khan Academy. And it goes when I was using it back in high school, they only had high school stuff. Now they have med school stuff. They have MCAT stuff. So you could pretty much if you're very self-motivated, you could just not go to school and watch Khan Academy. I wouldn't suggest that, but I'm just saying how good it is.
Brother Sajjad Abu Amir, he has a question. His daughter is going to be in the college.
Yeah.
What's her chances to go to the university after she finishes college? Do they get a collect credit?
Yeah, and what program is it?
Law school.
Okay, she wants to go to law school. Okay, so some programs are made such that you go from college into university. So for example, nursing, I know she wants to do law, but just as an example. It's called MOMAC nursing. So it's Mo for Mohawk and Mac for McMaster. And so the program is made such that you do 2 years or a year and a half at Mohawk, I think. And then you go into McMaster. I'm not sure if there's such a thing for law. Probably not, because McMaster doesn't even have law. So if she wanted to do law at a different school, yeah. That's a tricky question. It really depends. The best bet is to contact the university and ask. But it wouldn't be college to law school transferable, because law school is a professional degree. Maybe it could be a college to undergrad, say humanities or social sciences convertible, but definitely not law, because law is a professional degree. They don't associate with colleges.
She went to paralegal.
Exactly.
Then she can get some credit.
Yeah, so she could probably get some credits. I'm not sure if law school though accepts a college degree. I know med school doesn't, but law school I don't think so. Yeah, unfortunately I don't know the answer to that. But she still needs to write the LSAT, stuff like that. So contact the school. Okay. Okay. I guess the question is what he's interested in, right? If he has an idea of what he likes. What I would suggest is wake up one day, like for example, if you have the next few days off, like wake up and go to McMaster Hospital, for example, right? Grab a cup of coffee, you know, or tea or whatever you like. Or I don't know, kids nowadays like mocha and French vanilla and stuff like that. So grab one of those and sit down and look at what people do, right? You know, maybe you see a doctor go by and you say, oh, you know, I see myself being a doctor, right? Or, you know, you see a nurse go by and you be like, oh, wow, like I really like to care for people, so I want to be a nurse, right? Or like you could even go to like Brother Najim's shop, you know, see what a mechanic does, right? Just always have your coffee though, that's the key part, because you'll get tired otherwise. Or, you know, just ask an engineer in the community and go and see what they do and have fun with it. Like, you know, don't like go there and want to learn everything. Just have a good time, you know, drink your coffee and just see what they're doing. That's how I did it. I would just go sit in McMaster's Hospital when I was in grade 11 and just look at everybody, see what everybody does. And at the end of the day, I'm like, okay, I want to be a doctor. And then I volunteered. So you could volunteer, right? Like say, like you like doctors, but you're not sure, you volunteer at the hospital, right? And that gives an idea. Grade 12, I mean, you probably have to start applying soon. So, you know, just honestly ask people and see if it resonates with you, you know, if you feel like you could see yourself doing it. And there are some things you can't go wrong with, right? Like, you know, like you can't go wrong with taking health sciences or life sciences at McMaster. If you like science, you can't go wrong with it because it gives you a lot of opportunity. So you decide next year what you want to be. So yeah, just have fun with the process. Yeah. All right. Okay. Yeah, a lot of me talking. Yeah, thank you. All right, inshallah, we'll see you soon. And keep me your du'as, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.